night that her flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled facing the rising sun of new day begun? Let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you so much, Sister Nicole. You know, she's got the whole thing on a gizmo right here in front of her. She's pre-programmed for success. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for having me here this evening in this beautiful edifice for this wonderful occasion. This evening we are honoring trailblazers, women who have stepped out onto the uncharted earth to make a new way for those who will come behind them. I mean real accomplishments, not earning your first 1,000 friends on Facebook, but doing something that will have lasting value, leaving footprints and leaving a path by which others can travel. You know, when we talk to young people, it's almost like being a time traveler. You see yourself in them. And although you know they will not be perfect and will make mistakes, you just don't want them to make the same mistakes you made.
That's right.
Let them make new mistakes, modern mistakes, digital errors. I want to acknowledge the pastor, Pastor Wright. I'm so glad to see you in the house. He's not only a man who's strong in the faith, but he's a big, strong man as well. So if he can't pray you to safety, he can at least walk you to your car and you'll make it there in one piece.
Few stolen moments is all that we share. You've got your family and they need you there. Though I've tried to resist being last on your list, but no other man's gonna do. So I'm saving all my love for you. It's not very easy living all alone. My friends try and tell me find a man of my own, but each time I try, I just break down and cry, 'cause I'd rather be home feeling blue. So I'm saving all my love for you. You used to tell me we'd run away together. Love gives you the right to be free. You said be patient, just wait a little longer, but that's just an old fantasy. Yeah. I've got to get ready, just a few minutes more. Gonna get that old feeling when you walk through that door. 'Cause tonight is the night for feeling alright. We'll be making love the whole night through. So I'm saving all my love. Yes, I'm saving all my loving. I'm saving all my love for you. I'm saving all my love for you. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alyssa Marie Prendergast. I did say gift, right? God bless you, sister. My goodness gracious, what a voice. I think we're going to have a little more background music with our boys on the Wheels of Steel in a very few, in a very few moments. We're going to begin this evening's award ceremony. Chicken, fish, or steak shall be arriving at your table hot and delicious in a few moments. Once again, acknowledging the wait staff too well, because sometimes it's hidden behind a camera. If you're at an important event, a time when you're protesting, a time when you're celebrating, a time when you're showing your respect or your disrespect for some prospect, chances are that somewhere on the scene, your actions were being captured on film by our next speaker. He will put you up on Facebook, so I strongly recommend you either behave yourselves this evening or have that blackmail money ready. I'd like to invite up to the stage the man behind the lens with an idea of the future, Brother Antonio Kelly.
Children of all ages, my task tonight for you is to present this award, this Trailblazer Award, to somebody that's very dear to me, someone that the community knows, and a lot of us feel that this award is well past due. Shelly Brazeley. Shelly Brazeley, let's give her a round of applause. Let me tell you a little bit about her. I met her several years ago, maybe about 100 pounds ago on my end, and she had a bookstore. And I used to go in a bookstore and buy a lot of art and a lot of books, and we developed a friendship. We've come through a lot of endeavors, marches and things like the brother just said. But this sister also is giving back to the community in an even more bigger way. She's running for the school board, so remember that, you that's in Hempstead, she's running for the school board. Come on up here, Shelly, and get this award. Come on, girl.
Thank you, Tony Kelly. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much, Youth Empowerment. I'm not really good at speaking in the mic, but God's strength is made perfect in my weakness. And that's how I'm able to do the things that He empowers me to do. I thank everybody for this, and I am running for the school board, and I would appreciate your support. Thank you again.
Sister Shelly, and at this time I'd like to call to the stage. We were at the Tux place getting fitted together. I think he got the one that I was trying to get. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage County Legislator Fran Becker.
I want his tux. I don't know where I got mine, but I want his. Good evening, everybody. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this evening at this very special event when we invite and recognize and congratulate very important people, leaders in our community like Shelly. On behalf of our county executive, Ed Mangano, myself, Fran Becker, and the entire county legislature, I wanted to congratulate Shelly, not only because of all that you've done in the community, and we appreciate all you do, because you look absolutely beautiful tonight, you know? And we're so thankful for all you do, and this is a small token of our appreciation from those people, and I represent the 1.3 million residents of Nassau County. God bless you. Continue to do the great work that you do, and good luck on your election to the school board. I'm sure that you'd be a great asset.
You're acknowledged to service this evening. So I'm checking his smartphone. I think he's got remarks at the cloud. How's supper so far, folks? Are they feeding you okay? Everybody's being taken care of here? I was getting some flack at table 11, you know. I don't want any trouble over there. What a wonderful edifice. This place is built green, ladies and gentlemen, conserving resources. Brother Wright, well, put your hands together, please, for Craig Wright.
This evening, I'm honored to present a diva. A diva because she is dedicated, intelligent, victorious, and anointed. Anissa Moore is a trailblazer. She is the first African-American woman to serve as Dean of Social and Behavior Sciences at Nassau Community College. Prior to that, she served as the college and our community as the first African-American woman to serve as chair at the Communications Department, where she provided superior leadership for 3 degree programs. This phenomenal woman is a Brooklyn native. She earned her undergraduate degree from the City University of New York and the Master's of Arts in Communication and Media Studies at Hunter College. Being committed to education as a pathway to liberation, Anissa Moore has served on the teaching faculty at Hunter College and the College of New Rochelle, and of course, Nassau Community College. As a motivator and innovator, Ms. Moore was a co-owner and manager of Chelsea Harlem Digital, a multimedia company. Anissa D. Moore exemplifies the true ideals of scholarship and service. She is a member of New Vision Christian Workshop, providing mentoring and advocacy for at-risk women and children. She also is a member of Lee House Incorporated, a board member of the Darby Foundation, and a faithful trailblazer. As this faithful trailblazer, she has a living creative collaborations which include Sisters on Fire, which is a drama musical about African women experience, and is co-published Women at the Well. Sister Moore is an active member of Calvary Baptist Church in New York City. I was about to say Calvary AV Church in Glen Cove. Calvary Baptist Church in New York City, where she's youth leader and the Amplified Youth Group. She's choral director in Calvary Baptist Praise Team and Mission Outreach Coordinator for Women in Ministry. It is my honor to present this Trailblazer Award to Sister Anissa D. Moore.
Good evening, everyone. To the Master of Ceremony, Marlon Campbell, to Pastor Wright, thank you for your words. To the Honorable Earlene Hooper, and to all of the honorees this evening. It's an honor to share in this event with you. To Brother Mathematics and the Youth Empowerment Institution, the board, and to all of my family members, friends, and distinguished guests. I humbly accept this award, and I'm honored to walk in the footsteps of John L. Kearse. If I had time, I would share my history, my herstory, with you concerning the obstacles and the challenges that I have experienced throughout the journey. But due to time constraints, I'll extend my thanks to the countless individuals that helped me achieve my accomplishments along the way, and hopefully you will hear a little bit of my story and my heart. I want to accept this award on behalf of my great-grandparents, John and Margaret Ely, who left their small farm in Earhart, South Carolina in 1914 during the Great Migration, leaving the racist South in hope of a better life, and on behalf of my grandmother, my shero, Bernice Bell, who worked in factories in Greenpoint, Brooklyn, saving her money to support the dream of seeing her children and her grandchildren attend college. And moreover, to my parents, Roosevelt and Beverly Moore, who supported every idea and every project that I ever proposed. My parents were blessed with a special portion of patience to understand a gifted child that was born asking why and why not. And what do you do when you have a 10-year-old living in your house who's constantly writing letters to the government and also organizing bake sales to raise funds for the missing children in Atlanta, or a clothing drive at the local high school to support homeless families while attending school? I accept this award also on behalf of a little church called Williamsburg Christian Church, which is in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, where men and women wanted to see my every report card from kindergarten all the way to high school. And my neighbors would say, "Pick up your step, young lady," as I walked to school. I was blessed to grow up in an extended community that raised me, and I must celebrate them at this moment, for it is a strong Black church support network which nurtured my choice to pursue a degree in communications. You see, all of the people in my life have valued education. Some have had very little access to a formal education in their lives, and yet their wisdom and their courage and their unwavering faith spoke volumes to those around them. They recognized that learning can uplift, learning can transform. And growing up in the 1970s, many people had lost hope, but they soon realized that it was the youth who could truly be a part of that future and bring them to the next level in the fight. Growing up in an environment where everyone valued education gave me great pride to achieve and to always go beyond the expectations. I was committed to fulfilling the rich legacy of learning and investing in my community. And by the time I was 19, I had established my own tutoring program in my neighborhood. The seed was planted, and I soon accepted the call to become an educator. More importantly, I recognized that the significance of having a Black presence in the community college, which is the initial entry for many of our students of color seeking a college education. And so I accept this award also on behalf of Alana, which was organized before I was actually born. Men and women who work passionately to fight for faculty and staff of color on campus, to promote the hiring of a diversified teaching faculty, and to also further develop an Africana Studies program, a department that I would later have the opportunity to teach in during my first 4 years at Nassau Community College. Without their sacrifices and determination, the door would still have remained closed for me. And when I accepted a full-time position at Nassau Community College, I was greeted with a converted bathroom stall for an office space. And a new fight would have to begin, not just for my tenure, but for my students. With tears coupled with prayer, I was soon reminded of my calling and our rich legacy. I would not only have my office changed, but I would soon become the chair of that department. Before I reached the young age of 40, I had witnessed my upward climb from the bathroom office to the boardroom, and I'm grateful for that. And so as we celebrate Women's History Month, I'm reminded of all of the sisters who are still experiencing the glass ceiling, but I'm also grateful for all the sisters who are in this room, people that I know and people that I don't know, who are part of the powerful gift of sisterhood. I'd like to take this time to say thanks to my sister and my girlfriend, Nicole Quick, for allowing me to be a part of her life and the time that we shared during our time at communications. But I'm also deeply grateful to my president, Dr. Donald A. Strab, for seeing my passion. Thank you. For seeing my passion and my commitment to my students and to the campus community. Moreover, his desire to support and to place people of color in strategic administrative positions. This is indeed a first, so thank you. And lastly, I'm indeed grateful for the Youth Empowerment Institute for this season of recognition. I leave you these words that education is a civil right. The fight for education is a social justice issue, and the fight must take place across the nation. And so this award is also for the children that I have the opportunity to visit every summer in the Mississippi Delta, where under the law, a young child at the tender age of 14 is allowed to drop out of school and begin his or her life as a seasonal worker. Many of you call this sharecropping if you are from the South. Each summer, I work to the point of exhaustion to encourage them to graduate from high school. The fight begins with all of us who are gathered in this place, that we must break silence and act on behalf of those who cannot speak for themselves. Rest in peace, Trayvon Martin. We have to speak and break silence for our young African-American men who are disappearing as a result of violence, men who are disappearing from our college campuses. We have to speak out on behalf of the rural children across the country and the women and the children of Long Island. In the words of one of my sheroes, if you don't like the way the world is, you change it. You have an obligation to change it. You just do it one step at a time. Marion White Elderman. Lastly, may we leave this place tonight with a renewed commitment to making education a priority. May we support public education, K through 12 schools. May we support institutions of higher education. May we support our historically black colleges and universities. And may we encourage our youth to pursue careers in teacher education. More importantly, may we see the urgency of the hour to reconnect with our communities, to restore the intergenerational dialogue with our young people, and restore the strong, rich legacy of education, of self-determination, of community, and love. Thank you.
The first female and Hispanic judge in Hempstead. Ms. Diaz is currently the Director of Student Affairs and Vocational Discernment, Director of the Resource Center for Women in the Ministry at the New York Theological Seminary. Dr. Diaz's long legal career has included private local law practice, which she ran for 12 years, and a 7-year appointment as a special prosecutor in the Incorporated Village of Hempstead. She has served as the Vice President of the Nassau County Black and Hispanic Bar Association and of the Hempstead Salvation Army, the great works that that organization does. She also served as a board member of the Long Island Community Foundation, the Coalition Against Domestic Violence, and Operation Get Ahead, and serves on the President's Blue Ribbon Pro Bono Committee. In 2000, Dr. Diaz received the Amistad Bar Association Judiciary Award, and in 2001 was awarded the 100 Black Men Outstanding Achievement Award, as well as the Hofstra University Award for Alumni Achievement. We are oh so very proud of this good sister. She received Long Island's Top 50 Women Award in 2002. An undergraduate of John Jay College of Criminal Justice, Judge Diaz earned her Juris Doctor at Hofstra University School of Law. She is a member of numerous organizations because she believes in getting involved, including the New York State Bar Association, the Nassau County Women's Bar Association, and the Nassau County Bar Association, where she once served on the board of directors. She's proudly representing the New York Theological Seminary in her proud purple hoodie this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together in condign tribute for Dr. Cynthia Diaz.
Praise to God, who is at the center of my life. I greet you in the presence of the Spirit of God that moves me. I give thanks to stand before you, and I bring greetings from the institutions that I represent. New York Theological Seminary being one of them, and certainly the Congregational Church of South Hempstead, where I'm proud to serve on the ministry team. This evening, I accept this award after a long season of not accepting awards, since I accepted my call to ministry 9 years ago. I have chosen not to accept awards for the most part. But when Supreme Mathematics reached out to me and indicated that on this evening, we would be honoring and receiving awards in the name of John Kearse, I did not have a choice. So I stand here this evening paying tribute to the Kearse family. I accept this award on behalf of the 2 grandsons who will be following his footsteps, and all of the young men, my sons, your sons, our sons and daughters. The bio that has been read is about 10 years old, and there are many, many other accomplishments that have come after it. But I ask you this evening, if I were walking down the street, would the purple hoodie represent the 2 earned doctorates and all of the many positions that I have been blessed to have? And the answer would probably be no. That you would look past all of the accomplishments that have been so celebrated, and I am so thankful for this community that has supported me. This morning as I rose and I engaged in my morning meditation, I had John Kearse's spirit very much on my heart and my mind. For you see, John Kearse in 1990 when I was the first woman of color to run for the district court. It was John Kearse and EOC who stood behind me. But more importantly than that, John Kearse was one who was a political, a social, a religious mentor, guide, and friend. And if he didn't do anything else, he provided special wind beneath my wings to make certain that the law school education that I had and all the preparation that God had invested in me, that it would not be for naught, that we would take a stand for those who could not speak for themselves. So in 1990, although I did not win that judicial seat, what I saw firsthand was a community that could be galvanized by a man such as himself. So it is with great honor that I accept this award along with my other honorees and with Iris Johnson, who the mantle has been passed down to her. But I wondered this morning that if John were here today in body, as he is undoubtedly with us in spirit tonight, he would be less concerned with our whining and dining, with the fine clothes that we have put on this evening, and more concerned and centered with turning over the tables for justice. He would be hitting the streets. He would be on the phone. He would, yes, we could clap for that, because that is what John Kearse stood for. If we are going to accept a Trailblazer Award in his name, my resume at the very least indicates that I've had many jobs, not too many of them part-time. So when I come here this evening, I was at the rally this afternoon, and someone asked, I thought you were getting an award. Several people asked that, and I thought, were you going home to change? I purposely did not go home. I did not want to cover the stench of the injustice that's in our midst with perfume. I did not want to cover the steps that we have been ordered to walk with 3-inch heels. Nor did I want to cover my body with evening wear, which obviously we all have a lot of, with what we need to stand up for. For if John were here, he would be provoking us and insisting that our voices would be heard loud and clear. And so you see, it's much more than just wearing the hoodie on our heads. We can't do part-time protests, and each one of us are called to do it in different ways and in different places. It's doing it through the Youth Institute and pouring knowledge into the heads of our children. It's putting money into the NAACP and other organizations. It's doing anything and everything that we can, not leaving an event and simply feeling good because we were in the crowd and in the number, and not doing anything that will continue to raise the consciousness, the hearts, and prick the souls of those who are murdering our children so that they cannot have the benefits that myself, the other Trailblazers, and our future deserve to have. Thank you. I accept this award in John's memory, and I will keep his memory alive by doing that which he taught me to do.
Thank you. Everyone, I bring you greetings, and I'm delighted to be here tonight. And I thank Supreme Mathematics for inviting me, and all of you who have been so honored by this august occasion, congratulations. As I was walking to the dais, the gentleman asked me, because I indicated to those who were sitting at the table with me, with my esteemed sister in government, the Honorable Rosa Parks of Nassau County and Long Island, Dorothy Gooseby, Councilwoman Gooseby. I said, I cannot stay long because I've been up 72 hours straight. And he said, what were you doing 72 hours? He said, were you flying somewhere? I said, no. He said, you were up 72 hours? I said, yes. He said, well, what were you doing? We passed a state budget. We passed a state budget yesterday, not just on time, but an early budget, with no tax increases, no hidden fees, with an emphasis of $800 million additional funds for schools, with emphasis on those schools who are in need. A minimum of 4% increase over and above state aid. And the Hempstead School District, the Roosevelt School District are considered schools in need. I'm very happy to apprise you also, especially as I recognize some of the residents from the Roosevelt School District, that your entire additional aid is intact. It was not an easy feat. It was a long, arduous task. Being the only woman in the state of New York, holding the highest position in both the state and the assembly, and being a woman of color, negotiating with all white men was indeed an honor and a challenge. And I want to also apprise you that the sales tax that I was able to pass into law last year, the additional $500,000 for the village of Hempstead, and the additional $500,000 sales tax for the village of Freeport, wherein Hempstead previously received $149,000 from the sales tax, and the village of Freeport received even less. The $500,000 will be paid. I have spoken to the controller of the state of Nassau County. He will be traveling to Albany to meet with me to assure that those checks are delivered to those two villages. In addition, I'm working to assure that the formula is changed so that the funds will be equitably sent to the communities. We allowed the county of Nassau 50 additional red light cameras. That was a part of the budget. However, I am now in negotiation to assure that where those cameras are placed at the discretion of the communities, and that a percentage of the proceeds by law will be directed to youth programs. Tonight we are here because the next generation stand on our shoulders, as we have stood on the shoulders of those before us. And if we drop the ball and fail to assure that our children do not have the opportunity to follow us in all that for which we have struggled, and those who have gone before us, who have died, who marched, who stood and took the enmity from the system, would have been lost. And those who are honored tonight, and the presentations which I wish to present on behalf of the New York State Legislature, will you be kind enough to join me here so that the young people of Nassau County, the young people who will one day stand where we stand, those of us who have to carry the torch, who are the voices of those who are silent, who have to be in the room when the funds are being divided, and be a voice to assure that our communities have a fair share. Would you please join me so that I would have the honor of presenting these citations to you. 72 hours is a long time to be awake and alert. And one cannot blink when you're negotiating a $35 billion budget. You cannot blink, and you certainly had better not fall asleep. I'm asking Anissa Moore, my friend and my colleague who helps me to bring these things to a successful conclusion. Many of you are not aware of the work that Dorothy Gooseby does and the beatings she takes, because she is the only voice we have on that council. And I don't know how she is able to deal with it, because she is here. Sometimes I'm able to get away and go to Albany, but she is right here on the front line. But she is in constant touch with me, and we stand together, and I'm proud to have her as my sister. Shelley Brazeley, would you please come also? Tanya Hobson Williams. And I'm going to present them all to you. The Honorable Darlene Harris McCabe. Irish Johnson. Is doing a magnificent job. The baton could not have been passed to a better leader. And the Honorable Reverend Dr. Cynthia Diaz. Would you be kind enough to accept these certificates of recognition based on your outstanding achievement to the community and the long-time effect it will have on those who come afterwards? Thank you.
Good evening. He just gave me a promotion. I'll just take the raise, thank you. Proverbs says, who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies. Tonight has been transformed into an historical occasion, filled with leadership, courage, and beauty, by women who continue to raise the bar and crack the ceiling and change our lives forever. Earlier today, as I spoke to Supreme Mathematics and acknowledged that this ideal for trailblazers was phenomenal. But I thought back in history, I said, who would have knew from 1900s that the trail that Harriet Tubman blazed during the dark nights and early dawns will lead right back here to Hempstead with these ladies that you see this evening. It is my pleasure and privilege to award these women who have distinguished themselves throughout our county with a citation on behalf of Edward P. McGannell, the Nassau County Executive. Ladies, if you would please stay down there so I can hand you your citation. It is a small token of appreciation, far less than what you deserve this evening, but nevertheless, you are our heroes. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. This is a very beautiful audience. You look like a great issue of Jet Magazine. I want to give it up for this crowd, a very beautiful crowd here tonight. I would like to recognize my fellow legislator, Fran Becker. Hello, Fran. I'd like to recognize the judges from District Court. If you don't know, I practiced as a defense attorney for about 7 years, and these were the judges who I came before to beg for forgiveness and mercy to young people who unfortunately sometimes made the wrong decision, and they were fair people, so I'd like to recognize these judges. Good evening. My fellow leaders from the Hempstead, Roosevelt, Freeport, and Greater Nassau community, good evening, and it is my honor to be here tonight at the first annual Empowerment Institute Trailblazer Award in the spirit of John Kearse. I did not get a chance to meet him or know him. I was appointed as a commissioner of human rights under Tom Suozzi, and I did not get a chance to meet him. However, I have benefited from the leadership of John Kearse. There would not be a Carrie Salages if it wasn't for John Kearse. He paved the way for African Americans in government in Nassau County, and I recognize that, and I know our history, and I respect that. Ladies and gentlemen, you know, at the end of March, this Women's History Month, it's not too late on this last day to recognize the many trailblazers, the women in our community who have done so much for our community. Tomorrow when you go to church, and if you happen to read the good book and you read about the story of Esther, I want you to think of these women here tonight, because they are our Esthers. They are the ones who have truly are putting aside their own interests and putting the interests of their communities before their own. And so we have to thank them. And I have a citation for them, but there are a few of them here tonight that I really have a personal connection with, and I want to recognize them. I want to first recognize Darlene Harris McCabe. And the reason I want to recognize her first is because 12 years ago, I was an intern at the legislative building working for her, and I learned a lot from her. So now for me tonight, it means a lot to honor you as a legislator. So please, Darlene, if you can come forward. Thank you. You know, it goes to show you that there is, you know, a reason why he puts us together so that we can learn from each other and grow. And I learned a lot from this woman, and it means a lot to me tonight to present this citation to her. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Oh, this woman right here, she's my personal Esther. Deputy Speaker Earlene Hooper, may you please come forward. She has done so much to get me in the position I am here today, and she is my voice when it comes to state issues, and she truly cares for our community. I've learned so much about her, and she knows her good book as well, very well. And I enjoy discussing the scriptures with her. So it was my honor to honor this lady in red, this wonderful, fabulous, you know, a phenomenal woman she is for me. And so again, thank you very much, Deputy Speaker. God bless you. Thank you. Elected here in Nassau County, Dorothy Gooseby, last but not least. Well, Ms. Dorothy Gooseby. Again, she, as you know, I had to implore the helps of the court in my election, and she did the same, and that's how I guess us Democrats have to get elected here in Nassau, and this entrenched, you know, competitive political system that we have here. And she showed me the example of strength, courage under fire, and truly a beautiful person. So thank you, Dorothy Gooseby, for all that you've done, and this is my honor to give you my first citation to you. Thank you. Thank you. We have Dean Moore, please come forward. Truly a fabulous woman, and I look forward to working with you and to building with you in our community. Thank you, Dean Moore. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you. We have Shelley Braisley. Shelley, please come forward. A fellow leader here in the county government, and I look forward to working with you more. And thank you. Thank you very much. God bless you. I love this judge, Judge Tanya Hobson-Williams, if you could please come forward. I tried to do this citation earlier when they were all up here because I see the heels that she's wearing and I feel your pain. She is a great judge. I've been before her in the Hempstead Court, and you truly give justice to our people, and justice is blind, but you truly see all of humanity, and I thank you for that. Truly a phenomenal woman, Iris Johnson. You know, not only does she does a lot for the African American community, but she does a lot for our greater community, including our brown brothers and sisters, our fellow, you know, brothers from Latin America. And it's important to address the needs of the immigrant community. and she does it all. And I'm very glad to work with her in the EEOC, and I look forward to building with them to developing specific programs for the immigrant community, which I care for. Thank you, Irish Council.
Judge Hobson Williams is a founding member of the Academy Charter School in Hempstead. She was instrumental in getting the school chartered and most recently brokered the purchase of the school's newly renovated building at the former Honda dealership on North Franklin in Hempstead, New York. Judge Hobson Williams is active with the charter school and started a scholarship with her own funds at the school for students who could not afford uniforms. Judge Hobson Williams is also a private attorney with a practice in Floral Park. Her corporate clients include the Academy Charter School, entertainment figures, and many retailers. She was recently appointed co-chairperson on the Diversity Committee and on the Medicaid Litigation and Fair Hearing Committee for the New York State Bar Association. Whether you got problems with your medicine or your housing, she's the one. She's also a member of the Queens County, Brooklyn, and Nassau County Bar Associations, bar none. However, it is Judge Hobson Williams' concern for young people that has kept her actively involved in the community. Through the court system, she has partnered with the Leadership Training Institute in Hempstead to provide alternative sentencing, another way, to the Hempstead youth, and has actively engaged in mentoring at-risk youth within and outside the legal system. Judge Hobson Williams is also spearheading a collaborative program with the Nassau County Department of Social Services to provide social services on site at the court to defendants who require social services. Judge Hobson Williams is an advocate and is known for challenging the status quo. I do that all the time. For those in making those in authority question their moral compass, and for making them realize that just because you always did it that way doesn't mean that it's the right way or that it cannot be done better. My wife tells me this all the time. Her motto is no is not an option. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for the Honorable Judge Tanya Hobson Williams.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, you're gonna speak?
For a second. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring Tanya Hobson Williams. I just want to read off what it says. The John L. Keels Trailblazing Award presents the Honorable Tanya Hobson Williams, the first African-American woman elected to the Village of Justice in the Village of Hempstead. And here she is.
Thank you. I didn't win the Mega Millions. I'm a winner anyway. I'm a winner because I'm here tonight with my friends and family at Table 11. Have Reggie Lucas, my mom who came from North Carolina. We have Anita Ray. We have Charles and Randy Fisher of the Hip Hop Summit Youth Council. So I'm truly honored and blessed to be here tonight. My husband is here, and without him, I couldn't do what I do. So I love him and acknowledge him tonight. I'd also like to acknowledge Andrina Wyatt, because without her, really I would not be doing what I'm doing here. And she knows that, and I've told her that countless times, and I appreciate her and I love her. I'm going to be brief. Basically what I'd like to say is we have a panel of women here tonight who've accomplished fabulous, wonderful things, each in different areas and fields. One of the honorees is a colleague of mine. We've worked many years together, Darlene McCabe. And I'd like to challenge everyone. We are sisters. There's no reason why we can't come together and unite and do things in our respective fields, but come together from time to time and discuss the challenges that we face as African American women in these different positions. We all have face the same challenges and difficulties as women, as black women. And I think it's important that we come together and support one another in the different things that we do. So again, I know that the media sometimes portrays us in a negative fashion, but we here in Nassau County have African American women who are doing fantastic things and who are role models. And I'd like to see us come together and as a force of one, and I've told Andrina that on a number of occasions that I'd like to see the Deputy Speaker, Dorothy Gooseby, myself, her, come together, sit down, talk about some of the challenges that we face in our communities and what can we do in our respective fields to address some of those issues before they actually become issues, so that we can prevent racism in certain respects, so that we may not have another Trayvon Martin. Because a lot of us are in policy-making positions, we're in courts, we're legislators, and if we can come together in these positions that we hold and discuss some of the challenges that we face, that our children face, I think that we can, we do a disservice not to do that. So again, I challenge everyone to reach out to one another as sisters and see how we can work together to you know, become a stronger force here in Nassau County. I want to thank Supreme particularly because who would have thought that he would have had me here tonight? And I appreciate that because we were on opposite ends last year, this time actually. And for him to reach out to me in this way says a lot about his character as far as I'm concerned. And I appreciate that and I applaud you for that and I thank you. So with that being said, I accept this award humbly and I thank all of you. God bless.
Of the turnaround, ladies and gentlemen. I understand that I myself shall
Darlene Harris, the Trailblazers Award, the Honorable Darlene Harris McCabe, to be the first African American and woman elected legislator of Nassau County. I have to say that.
Thank you. I just want to thank Youth Empowerment and Supreme Mathematics for this honor. I want to thank my dad, Bishop Harris, who I know has been under the weather, who's here today. I want to thank my loving husband, Elton, who's always supporting me, my sister, Jelana, my niece, Sharice, and my friend, Evelyn, all who are here with me tonight to support me. I appreciate your being here. I want to congratulate all my fellow honorees. It's indeed a pleasure to be amongst you this evening. I do consider it a blessing from God that I was able to serve as the first and until now still the only African American female elected to Nassau County government. And one of the things closest to my heart has always been our young people. I've worked with young people almost in every aspect of my life, whether it's been working as a Girl Scout leader or working with the different youth groups at my church, Grace Cathedral, or even when I was a legislator, I held job fairs for the young people in the community, and I made sure that money and funding was getting back to the youth programs in our community to give our children an option to the streets. As they say, idle minds is the devil's playground. Even in my 23 years as a lawyer, I served most of it being a law guardian in family court. And even today, I made sure I was at that rally for Trayvon Martin, because I don't want to see another one of our young people suffer the same tragedy. So indeed, again, it's a pleasure and an honor to accept this award from the Youth Empowerment, and I appreciate and applaud all that they're doing in the community. I hope they continue to do everything that they're doing, and I just thank you once again.
Somebody who's known to all of us here. Hempstead Town Councilwoman Dorothy L. Goolsbee. She was elected to the town board on November 2nd, 1999, and boy did we party. Councilwoman Goolsbee is one of the first Democrats elected since 1905, and is the first African. Have you noticed how many firsts we have in the room here tonight? The first African-American woman to serve on the town board. Her first term of office was a one-year term. On November 7, 2000, she was re-elected in a landslide victory to another one-year term in the newly created 1st Councilmanic District. Subsequently, in 2001, 2005, and again in 2009, she was re-elected in landslide victories to 4-year terms. In 1988, Councilwoman Goolsbee and others filed a class action suit against the town of Hempstead, charging that the town's at-large voting system for the town board discriminated against the minority community. In 1997, a federal judge agreed and ruled that the town of Hempstead's method of voting at large was indeed discriminatory and violated the Voting Rights Act. In January of 2000, the United States Supreme Court denied review of the town of Hempstead's appeals. Judge Gleason then ordered that a special election be held for all seats in that year. Dorothy L. Goolsbee is an alumna of Florida A&M University. Oh yeah, Fighting Florida. With a Bachelor of Science degree. She received her Master's in Business Administration, in Labor Relations and Corporate Finance, and Accounting Management, busy, from Adelphi University. Councilwoman Goolsbee is a New York State licensed and registered dietitian. I saw her looking over that salad with great care. She has more than 25 years of exemplary administrative experience in the medical profession. She has also completed the requirements to become a chemistry teacher from Hofstra University. A longtime advocate and supporter of children and youth programs, Councilwoman Goolsbee is an adult member of the Girl Scouts of America and serves on the organization's Circle of Friends, and has also served on the board of directors for the Girl Scouts of Nassau County. She's a former vice president of Hempstead High School Board of Education and former president of Hempstead United Parents Association. She's also retired president to Marshall Schools Parent-Teacher Association. Councilwoman Goolsbee serves as the fourth vice president of the Association of Towns of the State of New York, on the Executive Committee for the Association of Towns of the State of New York, Rules and Resolutions Committee for the Association of Towns, and the Board of Directors of Hempstead High School Scholarship Fund. Break out the loot. In addition, Councilwoman Goolsbee served as president of the Hempstead Democratic Club, as secretary for the town of Hempstead's Democratic Committee, a member of the Ways and Means Committee, and performed with the Long Island Mentoring Incorporated, as well as a member of the Long Island Arts Council at Freeport. Her professional affiliations include the American Dietetic Association, New York and Long Island Dietetic Association, and she is a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta sorority. She's a past president of the senior choir and past co-chair of the Women's Day Committee. The councilwoman resides in the beautiful town of Hempstead, New York, with her husband of 40+ years, which makes her a trailblazer in just that alone. Mr. Anderson J. Goolsbee They have two lovely daughters, Alcina and Cassandra. The first council district includes Hempstead, Lakeview, Roosevelt, Uniondale, as well as portions of Baldwin, Freeport, Garden City, Rockville Center, and West Hempstead. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Town of Hempstead Councilwoman Dorothy L. Gooseby.
Thank you very much, and good evening. Certainly to all of my fellow honorees, I am blessed to be part of your circle. I am the second vice president of the Association of Towns for the state of New York, and I want you to know I'm a little tired because I was able to travel to Washington, D.C. on Wednesday, and I returned on Thursday because I was able to act as a lobbyist with the National Association of Towns of the United States of America. And I'm telling you that because it is the first time that any one of us has had the opportunity to do that. And it bothered me in a sense because out of all of the members from the United States of America, I happen to be the only African American in the group. And that to me does not make sense. That is something that we need to do to make a change because we are part of this country and we need to be part of what happens to us. There were 3 issues that we were lobbying for. We broke up into groups. With me, there were 9 of us from the state of New York who attended, and 4 of us went to the Congress, 4 went to the Senate. My first group, we went to see our Congressman Carolyn McCarthy. But there were 3 main issues, and one of them is very important to us. It has to do with lobbying for first responders. And that is, you know, all of the firefighters that we have on Long Island are volunteers. And nationally, it's dropping. We have about 46,000 less than we had before. And the majority of the firefighters are like us, you know, getting old. Very few youngs are volunteering. So our issue was to give more incentives to volunteers because the incentives that they would get in order to become a member of the fire department would be not costly to us, but if we had to hire all of them, it's figured that it would cost us $128 billion nationwide. So what we were asking for is, instead of the $250 that's allowed to them, we're asking it be raised to $600 and federal tax, not taxed federally. In addition, they get a small amount for retirement. We're asking that that retirement may be moved, because if they move from Georgia to Florida, wherever they move, they should be able to carry that with them. We need to have that passed. So the 4 Congress people that we work with, the representatives, all seem to be in favor of that. And the other group seemed to be in favor with the Senate part. So that was one of them. Another one had to do with the transportation. And I know you know that while we were there, they were debating that issue. Because if it had not passed, as of the end of this month, everything that you see as far as roads are concerned and bridges are concerned would have stopped. So they did vote to make sure they gave themselves 60 days in order to be able to study the aftermath of what it would cost. Those are 2. The other one dealt with farmers because, as most of you know, we're just about to lose all the farmers in the United States of America. We are not growing our own food. I wanted you to know that because we have not had anyone from our area who's ever been in a position to be able to participate. I am the only African American who serves on the board of the New York State Association of Towns as well. And I really would like to see that change because we all need to be able to work together. There are many people who are smart, and we have young people who need to come because we're in our last stages, I believe, of our life, and we need somebody to carry on. So I wanted you to know But I thank all of you for all the support that you give me. I will continue to do the very best that I can. I am tired today because, you know, it was a fly in, fly out. I flew in on Wednesday, and as soon as I got there, we started working. And then I came and left the Congress, and we went back to get our bags and straight to the airport, and that's it. So that's how my life has been. Earlene's has been 72 hours. Mine has just been quite a little bit less, but also the same. But I want you to know that I am really happy to have Earlene Hooper as our Deputy Speaker. I am blessed in a sense that we have had a problem. You know, the town of Hempstead still has a problem. And there was an issue that we had to deal with concerning monies for affordable homes. And Earlene wanted to get it straightened out. So she asked me to have a supervisor. I'm going to say it because people don't want to talk, but you know, my mouth opens and I tell the truth because you need to know the truth. Because most of you don't come to the meeting, so you don't know what we're going through. So I'm going to tell you, so you'll start coming. She was doing whatever she could to block that money. So Earlene called me, Dorothy, you set it up. You both have to come to Albany. I don't care how you come. You can take a bicycle, you can take the train, you can fly or motorcycle, but you must come. So, of course, it was very hard for them to realize that a Democrat was calling them to Albany and they didn't want to go. But anyway, we both end up in Albany. And that's how we were able to get the monies together that we're using to build affordable housing in Roosevelt, in Elmont, and also in Inwood. So you really must realize what's going on. And as far as the $500,000 that the county executive didn't know anything about, you know, afterwards. But I tell you one thing, he knows now that $500,000 is coming to Hempstead and Freeport, all because of her and the fact that she stays in Albany and works so hard for us. So when people say things, you know, what we don't do, you don't know what we do because you're not there with us. And there are many issues that we should be working on, but it's very hard with some people because they forget that we're elected to serve all of the people. And that's what our job is. Now there is someone here tonight with me who knows me from 1988 when we first filed that lawsuit. Is he still here? Put your hand up, sir, and let them see you. He was one of those people who felt it was not robbery to work together with us to do that. I think there were over 100 attorneys that we had who worked with that. It was not an easy case. Nothing is ever easy that's worthwhile. So let's put it together. Just remember the young man that we just lost, my son and your son. The only way we're going to stop those sort of things is to work together and get all those people out there who tell you it's not important to vote, Voting is power. But first of all, the first person that we need to remember is the Lord God, our Savior. He has brought us thus far, and He will continue to bring us. So thank you, Supreme, for having this idea, along with your organization, for honoring us tonight. I really appreciate it, and I hope that through this, all of us can start working together and realize how important it is for each and every one of us to survive. We cannot survive without it. You know, when it costs, when they cough in Europe, we're worrying about the price of gas, they're coughing, and we're sneezing. It's not the president's fault. I want everybody to realize it's not the president's fault. And I have met with people on higher orders, and I know what's going on. If we don't do what we must do, we're going back 40 years. 40 years, and I don't want to go back any place. All I want to do is go ahead. So it's up to each and every one of you, every one of us. So thank you so much. And I want to thank Shirley Brazeley and Shelley Brazy, sorry, and my friend over here, Reverend Benjamin, for working so hard with us this year. Ladies and gentlemen, we must think about our veterans, and Don Ryan was there also. We had a special fundraiser to raise money just to feed our residents. So on Tuesday at 3, we will present the proceeds to Long Island Cares in Freeport on Pine Street. And thanks to many of you who came and attended that affair. Thank you so much. God bless.
Decided to lay your robe down. John Kierce and I, and members of ELC, was there. He was always proud of you, and he would be proud today. Miss Robin Brazeley. Robin, stand up. Robin was one of our directors from Manhasset Great Neck program. Reverend Wright, I believe he left. He was a youth worker at ELC. And certainly, I have Miss Raquel. Is she still here? Stand up. I'm proud of this young lady. She worked at ELC and she said to me, you gave me a job when no one else would, but guess what? She is now the assistant principal, Hillside Arts and Letter Academy. And then Supreme Mathematics. He worked for me. He was a community organizer. He did an excellent job. And Sheila Kelly, where's Sheila? She worked for ELC. So we've done some great things in the last 40 years. John Kierce trailed a blaze. He was a trailblazer in Nassau County. He stood tall. He would walk in a room and you would know that a black man just entered. And he didn't care who didn't like what he had to say. He stood tall against racism, against injustice, against economic injustice. So on behalf of the Board of Directors, and certainly on behalf of my staff and the Kierce family, I am proud to accept the Trailblazers Award. It is a privilege to serve our people. There is no greater work than to serve. And so with that, I accept this award and I ask Ms. Shirley Dews to say a few words on behalf of the Kierce family.
Good evening. It is an honor and a privilege to stand before each of you this evening. And to Supreme, I say thank you for taking time out to recognize my father and all the efforts that he's put towards our community and our youth. All of you know that that was very important to him, and it does live within his children as well. To Miss Iris Johnson, I say a heartfelt congratulations. We applaud her work that she's doing at the EOC, and although I'm not there in particular, although I would love to be, I watch from the sidelines and I say congratulations. My heart is overwhelmed that progress has been made in spite of budget cuts. I've watched the money come into Nassau County diligently. I've worked with the budgets, and it hurts me to see where all of this money goes. It hurts my heart because it does not go to our communities, and it definitely does not go to support our youth programs, and that is so vitally important. To the honorees, I say congratulations. Keep up, and like my father and my grandmother, my mother would say, keep doing and keep fighting the fight. Miss Johnson, I do say, one of the things I had prepared was, my father would always say, who do you think you are that you can change the world? Our youth are our future leaders, and we must inspire them to change the world. They are never too young to make an impact. So to the Youth Empowerment Institute, to the EOC, to all the honorees this evening, on behalf of my family, I thank you. God bless you. All the best. of Nassau County. First African American woman Chief Executive Officer of, again, the EOC of Nassau County, from the Youth Empowerment Institute. God bless you.
Stand over here.
Good evening, everyone. This is a wonderful occasion for EOC and our board. Ms. Iris A. Johnson, when she was appointed as the CEO, I had a meeting with the executive board, John Kears, and I asked, I said, well, do you think she has the ability? And they told me, take care of her. We've trained her to do what needs to be done. And you know, John left, he had big shoes that she had to walk in. Well, she's done an excellent job. She's changed the face of EOC. John Kears certainly couldn't be anything but proud, not only of her, but of his own decision in picking the right one. And so we thank you heartfully, this board and Ms. Johnson, for giving her this distinguished award. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you to Supreme and the Youth Empowerment Institute for this award.
The thing is, when you see fantastic people, you try to mimic, grow into it, and develop what they're doing. And I just want to say that John Kears, to me, was an outstanding man. He was a Dr. Martin Luther King of Long Island. And I want us to understand why I say that. Because when the issue arose, he calculated how to get involved and attack it. He didn't allow his people to sit to the wayside and let the society push us around any old kind of way. We have to understand that a man this powerful has to be recognized year after year after year. That's why this is the first annual John L. Kears Trailblazing Award. There's so many trailblazers out there that we weren't able to recognize today. And we want to bring young people into the fold of saying, make a way for us as a people. John Kears was more than we can imagine in this day and time. I am so honored to spend time with the man. I am so honored and grateful that Iris Johnson took the place. I couldn't think of anyone else that have been able to so fantastic. And I just want to tell everyone who's sitting here today, you are sitting here because you were with a community organizer somewhere along the line. Mr. Kears was a community organizer. And the reason why you're here today, either you were married to one, you live with one, you know one, there's your uncle, your aunt, your sister, your brother, but that's how you got here today. Because you know a community organizer. And right now, what's going on with Trayvon Martin, if Mr. Kears were here, he would tell us, push those desks away and let's hit the streets. Because it's about organizing the community. And any opportunity that we get to organize, we must organize our community. Because without organization, we fail. I thank EOC, I thank Iris Johnson, I thank Mr. John Kears for giving us the gifts that he's given us so far in terms of organizing our community. He's done so much. The 19 legislators would not be in existence today if it wasn't for Mr. Kears. So let's give him a round of applause right now. Cultural Performing Arts Organization. What we are trying to do is bring young people of Long Island to the intelligence of their arts. Young people don't have an opportunity to express themselves, nor their facilities in Nassau County that they can hone their crafts. We ask you to join us in supporting young people and help them become a part of the technology that exists in the arts. The dance, the sing, the arts, and behind the cameras and behind the scenes. We are a struggling organization because we're brand new. We've been only incorporated since 2010, but we have a fantastic job to do. And that job consists of some of the art that you see. The fashion shows that you see on the wall is our 2009 fashion show that we did in Hempstead in the Green in Hempstead. We do an annual festival that was free of charge in the village of Hempstead for 29 years. It's the African Heritage Awareness Day Festival. We ask you to support us in those efforts. There are young people that come to us that we have over 500 some odd young people and their talents that we're trying to explore and put out so people can see them. And it's all Nassau County talent. We have a multiple talent organization and multiple young people that we want to serve. One of the things that we truly believe is that there needs to be institutions that we need to develop as a people. The problem that we have right now is that culture is one of the things that are missing in our young people's lives. They don't know that they have an opportunity to not be seen in front of a camera, but as well a great choice is to be behind the camera. And we need to be able to show that to our young people, that there are opportunities and multicultural issues that they can be a part of in the arts. So we'd like for you to help us, help our young people, instead of hanging out in the corners in the summertime, to get involved in one of our programs that will help develop them. One thing as an artist, you learn discipline when you're an artist. You learn patience when you're an artist. You learn how to present yourself in front of people when you're an artist. And as an artist, we should hold all those things for our young people who would like to do it. Youth Empowerment Institute came because there was a need in Nassau County to expose those talents. And that's why Youth Empowerment Institute came to rise. We stand here today before you, not just as a cultural and performing arts organization, but an organization that's concerned with all issues of young people. Housing is an issue not just for parents, but for young people, young adults, and young artists. They struggle very hard to maintain and live on Long Island. So we need people to work with us and develop programs that will help develop the arts. We are totally dedicated to preserving African culture and African art. That's something that is so needed in our community. Our people do not understand the greatness that is here. And one of the reasons why we decided to do this event tonight was to give honor to a great African king named John L. Kears. And that deserves a round of applause. Oftentimes we fail to understand that we must celebrate one another. No one else will do it. And today an elder man actually gave me the answer to our most phenomenal problem. In elementary school, we don't teach young people to trade with each other. The children don't know how to barter one another, to spend dollars together. So when we become adults and open a business, our people don't walk through our door because they're not used to giving us money. We have to learn how to give each other money back and forth. We have to learn how when John opens up a store to do business with John instead of going across town. We must learn how to spend a dollar back and forth. And our young people don't know that. They don't know culture, they don't know economics, they don't know the things that keeps a community growing. And we are responsible for doing that. Us as adults, us as leaders. I brought 8 phenomenal, fantastic women together tonight to show you how powerful we are as a community. And we are very powerful because each woman came up here tonight are fantastic in the careers that they do. The things that they do, they are fantastic in it. And we have to support that and applaud that because that is something that is needed. I thank each and every one of the honorees for accepting. I also appreciate you people for being here tonight. You made my day. I am so thankful. I am so grateful. And I want to give the microphone over to
Give it up for Brother Joel, ladies and gentlemen.